Hey everybody, and welcome back. This week I'm doing a cheap art supply challenge. And here you'll see all of the materials I used for this project. I have some sketchbook paper, pencil and eraser, as well as a set of markers. These are water-based, a couple watercolor brushes, a paper towel, and a little piece of plastic. This is actually some packaging from a stamp set from the Dollartree. Originally, I was just going to use items from the Dollartree, and when I went there and picked up a whole bunch of cheap art supplies to show you guys, I realized that the art paper that they sell, as well as any paintbrushes that could be used for this project, just were not even worth $1. I knew I wanted to use a specific technique that I'd seen before for this art piece. As you'll see here, I am taking a marker and I'm rubbing it on the piece of plastic a little bit, taking my brush, picking up some water, picking up the pigment, and using it like a watercolor. I wanted to swatch out all of the colors onto one of the pieces of paper that I was going to use, so I saw the full range of colors I had. I also mixed a few of the colors together to see how well they mixed and how many more colors I could get. I'm also using just a regular mechanical pencil and eraser that are from Staples, and I figure using something like this still fits in with a cheap art supply challenge just because pretty much everybody has a mechanical pencil like this laying around. This is not the kind of mechanical pencil that I typically use for drawing, so it is a little different and a bit of a challenge. So you'll see here that I actually mix 3 colors, yellow, red, and brown, to make the skin tone, and I actually really like how it turned out. Obviously this set only came with pretty much primary and secondary colors, as well as a brown, pink, and black, so there was no skin tone. I also wanted to use a teal color, which was obviously not included either, so I mixed a light blue and green on the plastic and was able to come up with a really pretty and vibrant teal. In fact, I mixed almost every color for this, and that's something I do with my watercolors anyway. I wanted to do this challenge because A, I thought it'd be fun to do, B, I really like inexpensive art supplies, and C, I really wanted to show you guys new ways to use different art supplies or products that you either have lying around the house or that are really easily accessible for you. Now, don't get me wrong, this definitely was a challenge for me. I've been using artist and student grade watercolors for many years now, and this is definitely a different medium. But the fun thing about being an artist is that you really can try out new techniques and new supplies all the time and always be learning something. Working with cheaper supplies or even improvising like I'm doing here is really a great way to see what kind of mediums you like to use. Maybe you try this and realize, ooh, maybe watercolor is not something I want to do. Maybe I want to do something more with marker or other paints. And this is really an inexpensive way to invest in that and really get some practice in before you invest a lot more money. Okay, I'm gonna let the music play for a little bit as you watch the speed paint, and I'll be back at the end. At this point, I realized I really wanted a well-defined edge, so I used a gel pen, a just black gel pen from the Dollar Tree to go in and outline everything. I think this came in a pack of 3, and it wasn't the best, but it got the job done, and I feel like the piece really looks a lot well put together once everything is outlined. So I definitely learned a lot from this challenge. I learned that markers like these can make very, very vibrant colors, which is really cool. However, they don't quite work like watercolor, and I realized this when I would touch wet paint to dry paint and it would start spreading just like wet paint to wet paint, and a lot of it would feather, and you see a couple spots where it sort of spread out and just didn't look as good. And going over it with a wet brush like I typically do for other watercolor pieces could make it worse. In some instances I was able to work with it, but some of the areas like her shoulder just didn't look the same. So beware of that if you're trying this technique and you're wanting to maybe get started with watercolor or play around with new art materials and you don't have a big budget. This is definitely something you can play around with in a sketchbook or something else to get started and get used to color theory and practice sketching and adding color to your sketches. And here's my finished piece. And I'm adding all of my materials that I used. I hope you really enjoyed it and learned a little bit about techniques you can use with really inexpensive materials. Is there an art challenge that you want to see me try? Go ahead and leave a comment down below and let me know. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like, share with a friend, and subscribe if you want to see more. And until next time, bye guys!